Hello again and welcome back to Steve's Long Stay Workshop, where some come to looked at for various reasons. I started on this just before Christmas, and now let's carry on with it, shall we? So what we're up to is a situation where it plays in both directions, no problem. I'll just go one way to prove the point. That becomes more detail. Okay. Now, if we put it to record like that, like that, go around a couple of turns. There we are. Like that. Take that back, which I'll do that way just for ease of button pressing, and press play. And as you can hear there, that actually does not actually do what it should be doing. So I've taken this tape off, which I'll do now like that. Again, this tape recorder is at this point not level on the desk, so I have to help it a bit here. But that will go right when it's back together again, because of course it was before, and it's now actually on three different cams. I don't think it's level, which is causing it problems. So if I take this off here like that, properly for once, although it takes a bit of time, we can have a look and see what we can see now. Now, tape recorder on playback is relatively simple. Head, amp, speaker, which we've just heard working. No problem at all there, as we can hear. But on record, it's rather differently, because, as I said previously, I'm telling you again here just for ease of completion on such things. On record, you have to put a bias on the tape, otherwise we won't record anything properly. You might get something to, but it will be very, very distorted. And so you have to put either DC or an AC bias on the tape. With these, it's normally AC bias, which is the better of the two. So that comes from the ECL82, the pencil section, which is transferred from being an input stage to an oscillator, and that oscillator runs about 50-60 kHz. It varies from unit to unit, so that's what's happening there. So with that in mind, therefore, we've got a circuit which is to record like that. Nothing's in the speaker, obviously, and let's have a look. Now the heads on this, by the way, the erase heads go off the back here as well, and I know there's one thing missing, but I don't think it's the erase itself. So what we can do first of all, the 82 are the erase heads, and they're not that easy to get at on here. So we know that one end of them goes to deck, which we can do. Quite simply, I put in one end of the meters to deck, and the other end, well, it goes somewhere else, doesn't it? So I'll do that because I've lost my probe here again, and come back to you and see what we can see. Now we know with this machine that it's going to be interesting, because it was wired wrong initially. So now we've got to rotate where it's been wired wrong and put it right. Most of the wiring I have changed, but first of all, obviously, it's the erase side. Now the erase side, the head is here, yeah, goes through G, through capacitor, to the anode of the pencil section here, and also down here as well. So it goes from T3 to the head there, and also back down here. So first thing we'll do is make sure that that is there. If it is, then partly there because that is connected. So the first thing we do is make sure that it is connected, which I do with the power off, completely off. Thank you very much. Always check that. Always check with something like this that all the power is off, and but others can see what's going on. Right. Well, the oscillator stage on this should generate 26 volts RMS on a 2RS meter. So looking for 26 volts or thereabouts here on this meter on the AC range. I've got 200 volts because it was a 20, 200, 600, so I've got 200 volts, and see what we get. So again, that plugs in. That's the switch to record, and so let's see what we get. When it's warmed up. Ah, something there. Ah, something there anyway. So therefore, somewhere like there should be, there isn't, and somewhere like there should be, and there isn't. So next thing we've got to look at is this coil and make sure that it's not actually been made open circuit. Now we know from the circuit here, there's the diagram there, you see. We know from that the primary is okay. Looking at T3, we know from that the primary is okay, otherwise there wouldn't be anything on playback either, and there is. So we know that's okay. Now the secondary side of it goes from deck to, and the other side of it goes to 14 and 16 and 16 and 17 at the other end of it, again, as we can see on the circuit there. Okay, so we'll see from that where we should be looking. Now where we should be looking and where we are looking on this particular unit are two completely different things. So yeah, so nothing there, nothing there, nothing there, and nothing there. Okay, right, that's interesting and a little bit worrying actually, that, because that did look to be okay earlier on. I noticed there's a cap across two halves of it, that should be across the primary, but I wonder if that's been played with as well here. I don't, with these units in this sort of state, you don't really know, and I want to know why two of those cats are put together like that as well. That's exactly right. So we'll and it goes up here as well. So there's something not entirely right here, shall we say? Because they shouldn't go into there, surely. So record. Well, first of all, if I take that off like that and look at the circuit for the G here, it should go to deck. It should go to deck when it's on play, and this goes through in eraser on record. So therefore, if I then take the earth off this eraser head here, like that, yeah, with that off there like that, and I'll put that out of the way somewhere like that, there should be now nothing. That's okay. Okay, should be now nothing between there and deck. Let's see if there isn't. There isn't. Okay, fine. Put that in place again somehow, and we'll find that there is. So It's tricky with one hand, but we'll do our best. Yeah, so obviously it is going through that head. So that side of it appears to be okay. Appears to be okay. So we're coming down here now, and we're going to look at print G on the circuit diagram again, which is here. And again, it should be the red, and it should go to T3 via capacitor 16. Now I'm not quite sure what is what here. I really am not. So yeah. Is it really going to be this difficult? I wonder, all over again. You wonder, don't you? Sometimes you do wonder, don't you? Oh well. Let's have a close look under there. So with that, then play back like that. You see, if I put this on now, although the motors won't be running, you should get something on record when I, you know, you should get something now on this. And we do. So we won't go to play. That's okay. So the playback's okay. Well, we know that. But on record, like that, yeah, it should go through here, and it should go from, let's see, the white down here to there. So we'll so now if we put the white, which is one I've taken off, hang on, if you put that like that, hang on, I'll find some way to hold it with one arm, stand by. With something like this, the first thing you do is make sure every component is what you say it is. So put it on like that, just on the fire, not the record, not the deck, and on playback, which is on the moment, you shall get when it comes up noise from the speaker. There you are. Right, okay. Now, first of all, that's the output from the power supply there, which goes up here, like that, and goes to there as well, which is that alone because it's through the coil. The capacitor here goes to deck. So if I wish to do this, which on which I know I shouldn't do, but I do, that should go to deck, and it does. Okay, quickly put that back to 600 volts. Right. Sorry about that. Don't do that, by the way. Do as I say, not as I do in cases like that. Remember, I've got the experience. You haven't probably, so don't do that. Okay. So now, therefore, we know that from there, therefore, it goes to something on here, like there. Oh, that's interesting. Causing that. What's going to do anyway? So anyway, so we know the top half here works okay, because of course the valve should be getting its H2, which it is doing. There's just something down here which is not conducting, or should be conducting where it shouldn't be. Oh dear. That's okay. If it's not one thing, it's another sometimes. So we'll have a look under here now. Now I noticed there's a capacitor across there. That's this one here. So if I was to quickly remove this from the circuit, or do this another way, like from there to there, there should be 0 volts. Let's see if there is. There is, that's 0, okay. And also to there should be, that's okay, but 49 ohms on there, that's okay. Okay, so that's something else to worry ourselves about. Right, okay. So we know that's okay. Now, on record, the bottom two on here, one end of it goes to deck, so that goes there like that, and it goes to deck. Now I think that's this one here. It is, you can see that, and in a minute you'll be able to hear it as well. So the final connector here is the one which goes to, and this goes down here. So that one goes to this wire here, which goes down here like that to what is white. But there should be a cap on there as well, and there isn't. So again, I think components have been left off as it should have been put in. So I think we'll take this area apart a bit and have a look. I'll start actually by getting that playback noise back. From wherever it's gone from. It's not there. That's back. Right, okay. Okay, right, so that goes to there, okay. And from there it should go, that shouldn't be on there. That should not be on there. Surely not. Because that there goes to the anode down here, surely. So that, yeah, the voltage is there, okay. And also from there, there's passive 21 which goes down here. So let's see where that's going as well, shall we? And see what should be. But they should not be on the HT line. They are. I might leave them. I might look at that. But for now, no. I'll whip them out. Want to go back in? They can go back in. But for now, they're coming out. Whether they like it or whether they don't, and they probably don't. So those come out of the way for a minute, and I'll have a look and find out where they should be going, because this diagram does not show any capacitor like that hanging off the power supply line, none at all. And I think they are, I think, aren't they? Hang on, I'll just check that. Hang on. So that goes to there. I think there's something else which I'm going to have to rewire, I think, here. Come hell or high water, as they say. Somebody here obviously can't read a circuit, and not too good myself. Playback, no problem. Apply power, the moment it comes out, no problem. There's no problem there at all. But on record, T3 here, which is okay, I've checked it by the way, should go to deck, and it doesn't. The other end goes to top of the valve here, goes down there, yeah, which I'll put back if it's not there, and the other half goes to that resistor and that to there, yeah, and they weren't there. So yeah, so then we've got that capacitor, that resistor in circuit like that, going from there, record, down here like that, up here to there. Okay, I'm not being 100% sure that's right. Basically the record is as bad as the playback on this, so could be interesting. Right, what I've done now is I've rebuilt the oscillator stage, resold everything, changed the P3 capacitors, and now of course I am now on the output oscillator stage here, and when I switch it on, we should now get, I hope, we did just now, a voltage here, and we do 146 volts, which is more than what it said in the manual, but this is a digital meter, so it might read better at higher frequencies, but there you are, that's there. Okay, so therefore when this unit is switched to erase now, it should erase. Now the erase head bias is also used on the head of the record played in record mode. So now let's find out. I think it goes from here on the circuit board here, for this capacitor here, to over here. So that's the next thing we have to put in place. Well, at this point in the machine, things have got a little bit messy. The Oscillator is started glowing where it shouldn't, and the problem was at the base of the valve. It suddenly went. Basically, the voltage on the anode was going to deck through the valve and no other way. But that was because the grid voltage was, and the grid and the cathode were linked outside. I don't know why, but they were. Now without that in place now, like that, you see, we can in fact get the thing to work again properly, and we'll see. If we do that, you see now with that on there, once it's warmed up, which I'm hoping to do now, to warm it up a bit now. Get something to prod with. Hang on, it's getting messy already, isn't it? So now, of course, from there, we should get. There you are. That's there, so it's there. Okay. So now I've got to sort out what's wrong with that base down there, and then get back to the issue of creating a bias voltage for the heads on record. One thing after another, folks, one thing after another. Hello everyone, I'm back from Ohio, and the picture looks a bit cloudy there, but hopefully that'll clear. Anyway, back onto this thing now, and I found out that by substitution and checking that the valve base here is faulty. Indeed, one or two of these on the back here, middle about, so that valve base is coming off. It's going to be replaced. The problem actually is that when the valve is fitted and it wired up okay, the inside of the valve glows red hot. Now initially I felt it was the valve, but it's not. I've tried 3 valves and they all do the same thing, so either I've got 3 faulty valves or it's a socket or something else. But I can't see what else it can be as of yet. So what I'm going to do now is have a look and make sure everything looks okay, and then we're going to look at getting everything sorted, so when the valve base comes, it's been ordered, I can put it back in place, as well of course as the switching, which on these decks is done on the switches here on the unit. I'll show you, hang on. Now here you see, here and here on the deck, this is where the unit switching takes place, and it goes to deck by some wires, which I've actually been set to replace. I want them longer, so when I'm putting the thing back together, I can check everything before it goes together. And also, if it goes wrong in the future, it's easy to lift the deck out and look inside. So that's why they're all longer than they should be. The wire, by the way, came from CPC, and it's high quality audio cable, which is right for the job. So here are the two that go to the deck here. The socket back here, that was faulty as well. I'm using that now purely as a connection point and nothing else. So let's have a look and see what happens now. Now looking at the circuit here, yeah, from the valve, which was here, yeah, it goes pin 3, I think that is, and pin E, yeah, which goes here to I think this one here. So well, that one's F. That one's F. Okay. So this one here must be E. Now, with this outer circuit, looking at this, look at these here. It's actually that's pin D, and it should go to deck through the heads, of course, when that's in place, and when it's not in place, there should be nothing on this line at all. So we'll check that first of all and see that that is the case. So that goes to deck like that, anywhere will do for this, you know. And then of course we go and we check down here and see what this one is doing. Now there should be nothing on this at all, absolutely nothing. Which appears to be the case. Hang on. Right. So there's nothing there at the moment. Okay, fine. Now, if I set playback here now, we should be able to. It should be something on this now that to work through the heads. Which there doesn't appear to be. Oh dear. Okay, not to worry. Let's try on here. That's nothing. Okay, fine. And that's beard there. And so it's obviously something else wrong here. Now this one here, this one E, goes back to the unit down here. And I think we've got some wiring problems here. Well, I know we have. So we'll look at the circuit and we'll see what's what. So basically, comes in on pin E, which is this one here. Not with this yet, obviously. Okay, so that should go to there. Doesn't. And does it do anything? No. No, it doesn't. That does, but the pin itself doesn't. Okay, so will go in here as well. Okay. This switches from play to record as well, and so pin F shall go to deck as well. So I'll really can find out exactly where this problem is. What I've done here now is actually labelled up all the wires as to where they'll go with these stickers left over from Christmas. D, E and F, that's these three here, which these can match up to the circuit here, D, E and F. You see there? Now that is the ECL82, which is a moment out of circuit because of course the sockets can be changed. Yeah. Other one, G, is the erase head, which is there. You see it's there, yeah. And A, B and C switch the head from playback to record, because of course on playback it is essentially what's on the tape, plays it through and plays it in theory. In practice it's the same really, but on record of course the oscillator circuit, the pencil of the ECL82 becomes an oscillator circuit, and that comes in well on point C here. So therefore, with the unit set to record here, which it is right now underneath here, we put that on there like that, you see, can you see that? Yeah. And we go to deck like that, and we should see the erase head, the recorder on point C here, which we do, as you can see there, 1, 2, 3 ohms, yeah? Okay. That wire is labelled C. Okay. B, of course, is one for playback, and of course, one for linking to the HG line, which I don't fully understand why that's there, but it appears to be there. So again, why, I simply do not know. Simple as that, I don't know. I'm sure there's a reason for it, but I can't see what it is. If somebody could tell me, then that would be great. So the deck therefore is now sorted and ready to go. So yeah, yeah. Now wires off the deck and the wires of the amplifier have also been marked up separately as well. So that's that. So this tape deck is now sorted, and now we turn to here. This is the amplifier circuit here. Now, okay, admittedly that's out of circuit, but I'm going to check it also and make sure that nothing else wrong before that socket comes out and another one goes in when it arrives. Well, some points you realise that things aren't quite as sorted as they seem, and this is one such point in question here. A, B and C are here, and D, E and F are here. Like I said before, that's okay. G here is the this is a wire for the heads, okay. But now A and B, now C is here. Now C had a problem. Intermittently it will go short circuit, which is fun, to say the least, and it got it happen now rather than missing was back together again. Because that is the time when it really wouldn't have been happy to, I wouldn't have been happy to take the unit apart again. Now at this point now, free to record, yeah, C should have about 220, 225 ohms across it to deck, to the head, which, as you can see here, we have. If we was to put that up so you can see, like that, you see. So now, which one's she again? Hang on. A, B, I think it's this one here. No, it's not. It's not. It's that's B. That's G. Which? Oh God, which one is it? Which one is it? Hang on. Oh yeah. Yeah. C. A. Even with them linked together, there's a problem. So now, with that link like that, now you see, there should be about 200 ohms, about 120 ohms between there and there, which of course there is, as you can see there. So therefore this deck is now finished with the, the wires coming out, all labelled up and ready to go. So this deck is now sorted. Now, with that in mind, obviously I can power that weather tape back and forth, but we've already seen me do that, so not a point, not a lot of point. But what I did here, I took this and took it away from the unit because somebody had been soldering down here quite badly. Not me, my soldering is bad, I know, but not as bad as this. And so now I've taken it out and I've done it differently. So now this is now fine and ready to go. So with that ready to go, we go to the amplifier here. And of course, those two there, hang on, I'll just move the camera so you can see. So with these two here are the heaters, okay? Now this E on the deck goes to here, this valve base here, which is coming out, like I said before, and everything else is sorted. So now I'm going to check it first of all without plugging it in, obviously, and make sure that everything is what it should be. So that's the 8T point there, yeah. Now look at the circuit. It goes directly to pin 7. That's what the grid. So again, I'll put it on that on there so you can see. Can you see that? Can you see? Can you see that? You can. Okay, fine. So now, from there to there, obviously, there you go. Now, from there to there, there were 3 ohms. So that should be 300 ohms, should be out. 300 ohms to there. That's a little bit higher than it should be, but never mind. And from there, it goes that capacitor there, which I don't think it should, but there you go, I'll come back to that. Yeah, it does, okay, yeah, fine. That goes to, goes down here, so it should be something round here, which there isn't. Try the other end here. Okay. Let's have a think about, let's have a look down here and find out what is where here. Okay? So from there, what do it do to there? Nothing, okay. And to there, 330, 40 ohms or so. Okay, fine. Now, from there, it should go to pin 6 via T3, which is this one here. So down here, there should be at one of these points here, there should be, that's there, that's okay, that's there, okay. And the other end is here, and that's okay too. So from there, therefore, we know that that appears to be okay. Although I am going to lift that to make sure that it's going through the coil and not do a short circuit capacitor. From there, yeah, it goes to pin 6 down here. So one of these wires here should also have on it the same voltage, so have a look and find out which one it is. Not that one. This one here maybe. This one here looks a distinct possibility. So I'll bear the end off that if I can. There we go. And see what we get on the end of there. The same. Okay, fine. The speaker's crackling, by the way, because of course they want me to put some small voltage in, which is going out through the speaker through the output of the secondary of the input transformer. So that's okay. So that goes to there. Okay. So that's okay. Now that should also go to C21, and then of course to here. So that goes to there, and one of these two goes. That goes to there, I think, doesn't it? Okay. So from there, it goes to 200k resistor. And that capacitor, so this is this looks like G, it is, so that obviously goes somewhere like there, nothing, okay, and it's also go to 200 pico resistor, which it doesn't, okay, fine. Therefore it looks to me as though this is wrong here as well. So I'll leave it at that now, and I'll come back to it tomorrow with a fresh head. Back on this, the weather is a bit warmer, and the socket for the ECL82 has been changed, but it's still got hot. After all the mucking about, it's still got hot. So after banging my head against the wall a few times, and the wall is bigger, it's harder than my head, by the way, so I got quite a headache. I looked further down, and I found that the resistor from the cathode of the anthode section of this deck is meant to have a capacitor across it. And looking at it, I found that it wasn't there. It was there, but it wasn't. And in actual fact, it hadn't been soldered in properly. It was right underneath the number of the components. So now I've soldered all those components and put them all in place now. And now, if I was to switch on, which I've just done, yeah, and then of course do that, and of course do. Where are my glasses? Hang on. It's age, you know, it's age. Right, there you go. So that goes there like that. And now it doesn't actually sound as loud, and the valve doesn't overheat. With that off there like that, you see, of course there will be more. But again, the valve is not overheating now. So that bypass capacitor, what the bypass capacitor does in effect is it provides negative feedback. And negative feedback actually lowers the gain of the valve. Now, so what you say, not all gain is good. Okay, not all gain is good. We'll tell you that right now. Because in this case, the gain was so high, there's overheating the valve inside. I think this valve is okay. I hope it's okay. I've got others. But still gets hot, mind you, ECL82 generally do. So from here now, we've got possibly now, I hope, a working 8-pulse stage again. So the next thing we have to do is wire this in, put a tape on, and see what happens. It might play, it might not. We'll have to see. Right, well, I'm back now to the stage where it plays. Both ways, I'm sure, but now, there you are. Not on the other side, but there it is playing away anyway, so there you go. It's doing what it's meant to be doing on playback. It's a lot louder than it was before, and this is because the ECL82 here, which by the way doesn't glow red hot now and get bothered and nasty, doesn't actually do that because it's wired correctly. And somehow or other, he managed to wire the circuit up so that one of the stages was not used. One one stage of these amps was not used at all. So I was lower than it was, but now of course it's got more like it. So now we've got to sort out erase and record. At which point we might actually be in a state to make this thing up properly and call the job done. We don't know. This has been a long job. You get these jobs sometimes and they get to be longer than they should be. I thought this was alright. I really did. But have we done this before? I've had to redo a lot of it. And also that socket was faulty, that down there, and this socket at the back here, the plug that went into it was tracking as well. So all that's now gone. What I'm doing is I'm wiring straight to the board with new wire all the way through. So like I said, it's working now, see, and also it should wind off as well. I think of this one here. So this one here. Okay, so it's not winding that way now. Okay, fine. For reasons known only to itself at this time. We'll come back to that. But never try and get it to erase and record. Now, with these machines, with any machine like this, the 8-put pentone section on record, it becomes the oscillator for the bias and the erase. Yeah, that's something else. So what I'll do, I will put in the erase circuit first of all, and hopefully it will erase it. If it does, then the bias will follow, and all should be well. Well, it plays nicely, but it still doesn't record or erase. And indeed, when record is selected here, the ECL82 down here still gets warm, very warm in fact. So, look at the circuit again. Always look at the circuit and have a think. Very important. Right, well, first of all, E goes to deck via the grid that exists which is in place, and that's fine. That's okay, okay, because it records. But F, that's the record section, goes down to deck by a 12k resistor and to 47k up here. Now, if that capacitor was short circuit, and it's not, by the way, I checked it, yeah, it will go to deck by that coil, but with the 47k there and the 12k there, electricity always finds the safest, cheapest way to deck all the time. So it will still go down here. So I don't think it's there. So what I did, I wired out E to F and switched on, and lo and behold, it's started to overheat the valve. So obviously the deck is okay. I knew that. So the problem is somewhere out here. So what I'm going to do, it's either going to be another wiring fault on this thing, or possibly it's tracking across this base here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this outer circuit completely here and wire it all straight to the tape recorder, straight to the deck here, and see what happens. So I went on this back panel, and I've already condemned the lead for the same sort of thing. So it's probably this here that's giving us the problem. So this is going to come out of circuit. That's probably the best way to do it, I think. I'm going to have to put this one aside because unfortunately what's going on with it I really don't know. I've checked and rechecked everything more than once, twice, 3 times. Now it plays okay. It plays beautifully in fact. But go to record and the F side of it, what it does is it changes the output stage, the oscillator stage, into an oscillator for the bias and the arrays. Yeah, but in this one, as soon as that happens, the ACLH, which is the one in question here, gets very, very hot, blowing all over. Now I know it's not the valve. I know it's not the valve because I've checked and checked and checked, and I've had 3 valves in there, and they've all done it. Now, chances of 3 going wrong in the same way, minimal, and you know I'm not going to try 4th. So that's obviously not it. Yeah. Now I've got it going on playback okay, but on record it does that. Yeah. Now another possibility is that the back is faulty, tracking across. The other half of it was. So I take that out of circuit, went everything straight through, still did it. Change that capacitor, T40 on the diagram that I pointed to. Change the resistance, the capacitors, everything round here, still did it. Now, when it was up, on record it was fine, but on play it was fine. But on record, it would do it, but only with the deck connected. So I came out here again and checked the deck. They show with the deck. And it is, everything's fine on the deck, no trouble at all. Everything's fine with the wiring, everything's fine. But unfortunately, it still does it. So I don't know what to turn with this, I really don't. I've never had one with this sort of fault before. If you've got any ideas, please let me know, because this is slowly driving me up the wall. I've decided tonight now to say, right, that's enough, you know, because there comes a point when you go a bit doolally with these repairs. So this one is going to be put away. But having said that, it will come out again. I've got 2 or 3 more of these to do. And okay, this was not fixed, but when something isn't fixed, it's like this. Don't despair, because what you've learned from it is invaluable. It really is. So the next one I get will probably be a whole lot better than this, I hope. So I'm going to leave this here now. As Jay said, I'll leave that here now, and I'll get back to it sometime in the future, and I will, I promise. I've got other jobs to finish off, so I'll get on with those, and of course there'll be videos very soon. Happy New Year, by the way. And I know it comes the end of January, but this one will be up tonight, and please don't laugh at me too much, because everything I've checked on this is fine, but it still does it. I've even changed the valve holder, still does it. I've checked all the wiring, as I can tell, it appears to be okay, still does it. So I really, really do not know. Again, if anybody out there does, please, please, please let me know. Please. Anyway, that's it for Steve's Vintage Electronics Long Stay Workshop for now. I will get back to this, but until then, take care. Be faithful to your God, whoever he is, and I'll see you soon. And keep fixing radios and take calls and everything else. Because even if you can't fix them, and I will with this, by the way, you learn it along the way. So I'll see you soon, I hope, and bye-bye.